Okay, so let's just get ourselves ready for just a little relaxation. So sometimes we do our restorative practice for specific reasons, like we want to kind of lift our energy or we want to kind of work a certain part of the body. But other times there's real benefit in just doing the practice just so that you can relax, and that's what we're going to do now. So just get your equipment ready for your basic relaxation pose. So you've got a couple of blocks for underneath your feet, you've got a bolster for underneath your knees, and then a blanket for underneath your head. If you've got something to cover your eyes with, that will also help you to relax deeply. So it's just so one of these eye pillows. They originally smelled of lavender. Doesn't really smell of lavender anymore. But it's kind of full of kind of grain and lavender, and then it kind of sits over your eyes, and it will just it gives a little kind of quietness to your head. So get yourself into position. Have a blanket that you're going to cover yourself over with, so you've got warmth. We've got quietness, hopefully, and we've got comfort. So just get the blanket for underneath your head. Just rest yourself down onto the floor, and then just let your knees release. Have the bolster underneath your knees. Have the blocks just for underneath your feet. So just adjust if you don't feel comfortable, because comfort is our priority. How are you doing, Ian? You've just joined us as well. Nice to see you. So we're just doing a basic relaxation pose, Ian. So just a bolster underneath your knees, a couple of blocks for underneath your feet, and then a folded blanket for underneath your head. So just rest yourself down. If you can cover your eyes, then do. Let me just switch off my notifications on my laptop. I don't want those pinging away. So yeah, so just get yourself into position. Cover your eyes if you can, and then just release into the floor. So if you've been busy all day, it's nice to just allow yourself the opportunity to relax. Listen to the breath as you release your arms. Just let your arms release. Let your neck soften. Soften your eyes and the eyeballs and the facial skin. Just breathe evenly, deeply. Just listening to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. So just allow yourself to just surrender into the floor. Observe where the physical body makes contact with the ground. Allow your breath to become gentle yet deep down into the bottom of the lungs. Draw your attention into the physical body where the floor supports the body, where the bolster and the blankets and the blocks support the physical body. Observe that feeling of touch where the bolster or the blocks or the blanket give the feeling of the floor a different sensation. Draw your attention into the soles of your feet. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet and allow the soles of your feet to consciously relax, softening the skin and the flesh and the muscle and the bones. Draw your attention into the tops of your feet. Draw your attention to the tops of the feet and consciously relax the tops of the feet. Draw your attention into your shins. Draw your attention into your shins and soften the muscle and the bone. Draw your attention into your shins and allow the shins to relax and the bone to sink into the calf muscle, into the bed of the calf muscle. Draw your attention into your knees and allow your knees to consciously relax, becoming lighter as they do so. Draw your attention into your kneecaps and consciously soften your kneecaps into the backs of the knees. Draw your attention into your thighs, using your in-breath and your out-breath to maintain your focus and to draw your energy into the thighs. Just be conscious of your thighs and their potential, and then notice what you're doing with the thighs as you soften the muscle, allowing the muscle to sink down into the floor. And allow the thighs to completely sink into the floor, the fronts of the thighs sinking into the backs of the thighs. Draw your attention into your abdomen and consciously relax the muscles around the abdomen. Drawing your attention to your thighs and allowing the fronts of the thighs to sink into the backs of the thighs. Draw your attention into your abdomen and observe how much you have released your legs, and observe the breath and the release of the out breath. Draw your attention into your abdomen and into your spine, allowing the muscles to become soft. Relax the abdomen and the rib cage, stretching down into the arms. Release the abdomen and tension around the chest, and then relax into the arms, relaxing your upper arms and your forearms and the backs of the hands. Releasing your arms into the floor and the forearms and the fingertips. relax the neck. Draw your out breath into areas of resistance. Just relaxing the neck. Soften around the neck and around the face. Releasing the brain. Just enjoying the total lack of demand on your physical body and your mind. Relax your arms, your upper arms and your forearms. Take away all tension from the body. Soften around the face and the eyes and the skull. Giving yourself some time to relax and unwind. Okay, in a moment, we're just going to bring ourselves out of this basic relaxation pose. So just wriggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then bend your knees. Just put your feet onto the bolster. Have your feet apart, your knees together. Just pressing the sacrum spine down into the floor gently. And then when you're ready, just roll onto your side and then stretch out your top leg. Just bring yourself up into just a cross leg position, just sitting in cross legs for a moment and just observe the energy that you have released just through that gentle little time in just our basic relaxation pose. So we're going to do a couple of simple poses that just kind of heighten that level of relaxation. Supported twist, seated supported twist. So get a bolster towards your right hip and then lift up into the chest and then lengthen your chest along the bolster and then rest your head on one side. Rest your head on the side that your knees are bending in. So if your bolster doesn't feel high enough, you can put an extra blanket on top, lengthening along, and then just see what feels good for you. So lift up the chest, lengthen the chest along the bolster, and then just come down onto your bolster so your knees stay bent and your arms are wide enough apart so that you aren't supporting your weight with your arms, you're letting the bolster take the weight of your body. So a simple supported twist. So this is a really lovely pose just for keeping your back mobile. So find your comfort within the pose. You might have to adjust the position of your knees just to soften the feeling in your back. Just experiment, find the position that really opens up your lower back. So as we progress into the pose, I'll speak less and less just so that you can spend the time relaxing rather than listening. So we're just giving ourselves the opportunity to become gentle within the pose, just replenishing our energy while gently stretching out the physical body. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, bending your elbows, and then push yourself up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs for a moment. Just observe how your energy has changed. Now perhaps there's more energy flowing. Let's just do the other side so that that feels even on both sides. So sit with the left hip close to the bolster, keeping your knees bent, lifting your chest, lengthening your chest along the bolster, resting your head so that the chin is in the same direction as your knees, and then rest yourself down. So the simplest of poses, just to restore and recuperate your energy. Okay, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into seated position, just coming back into crossed legs again. Just observing again the quietness of the physical body, but the energy that you have just conjured up. So we can do our restorative surfboard pose. So get something from underneath your knees, like a little rolled up blanket or a little mini bolster. You'll need a block for your head and a bolster. So a block for your head and a folded blanket on top of the block. And so you need space between the end of your bolster and your chin, and you rest your forehead on there. So I'll just show you. So you come down onto the bolster, the end of the bolster comes into the kind of pelvic region, and then you just rest your head down onto the blanket on top of the bolster, on top of the block, and then rest your arms into the floor. So this is, again, you can cover yourself over. This is really nice for releasing tension in shoulders, but it's also a really good pose for just reviving your energy. So just a little lift underneath your shins, come down onto the front, have your head free of the end of the bolster, so that all kind of depends on your body length a little. Have the block and the blanket for your head, and then just rest your arms on the floor, just beyond your head level. So the forehead is resting on the blanket. So your head isn't to one side or the other. It's just the forehead makes contact with the block and the bolt in the blanket. And just release into the floor. Letting the shoulders soften, letting the neck and the throat soften. So through gentle, super gentle practice, we revive our energy. So if we were a little tired at the beginning, then through relaxing and releasing, we rediscover our energy. Just begin to feel the lightness of energy in the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers. Okay, just bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Just push yourself up into a seated position and just sit back on your heels for a moment. Just feel the energy in the chest and around the shoulders. And then we're just going to finish in our supported bridge pose. So you'll need a bolster and your blanket. So just have your blanket kind of unfold it a little so that you've got kind of a slightly longer, slightly thinner lift, and then just roll in the end into a little kind of Swiss roll type situation. So you might want that higher or lower depending on how it feels. So you're just going to come down onto your back, have a little roll in the neck. So at this stage you can determine, well, actually maybe I need to roll it up a little more or a little less, just finding that position that supports the neck. And then get the bolster and then lift the bolster underneath the seat bones. And then just either rest your arms at the sides of the body, or you can always rest your arms over your head like this. But over just at the sides of the body is a good way to just let go. So a little inversion just to finish off our relaxation practice. And through that relaxation, we've reignited our energy, bringing energy and positivity into the physical body and into the mind. So through our simple poses, we bring about a sense of deep relaxation, but at the same time we release our energy. Bring the feet flat onto the floor and then lift your seat bones up. You might have to come onto the tiptoes a little. Just roll the bolster away. Keep the little lift underneath your neck. Just roll the bolster down so that it's underneath your knees for a moment or two. And then just rest yourself down on the floor. So just deep, long held poses that transform your energy. Okay, and then just bend your knees, just rest your knees on the bolster. So rest your feet on the bolster. Keep your knees bent, just really grounding your spine into the floor. And then roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just coming up into cross legs with your hands in Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Close your eyes, draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you released through your simple restorative poses. The refreshing energy that replaces the tiredness we started with. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then gently radiate out that positive energy, sending it to people, places, things that need our positive energy. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really kind of transformed your energy, giving you lots of good, positive energy to take into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.